All right, y'all, we are back with another video. Now, come across this one from the channel Hustle, and it said that they lied. This did not cause the Maui Massacre fires. Now, this is very, very, very interesting because, like I said, we already know that we are constantly and still being lied to about this whole situation. A lot of you already know I stand at it. I still blame them cops for barricading all the people in, wouldn't let them out, causing people to just burn and like it's. Oh my God! It's just saying that just pisses me off. It makes me so freaking sad just to even think of that. But I still blame the police, and I'm wondering why they ain't being brought up front about this whole situation. Why ain't nobody being locked up? How come you ain't blaming these police for not letting these people out? The ones that listened got killed, and the one that disobeyed the police officer and the one that just drove around lived. It's like, come on. That right there is crazy, and I'm just mad that they ain't bringing these cops, whoever it was that stopped the people from coming out. I'm wondering why they ain't talking about that. So we're gonna dive straight into this and see exactly what's going on, because there's still a lot of stuff in the air that we don't know about, because you know how it is with the media. They just tell you the things that they want to tell you, but they don't tell us everything. Like I said, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support. Everybody that's leaving positive comments in the comment section. I also want to thank everybody that clicked on this video for the very first time. I appreciate you as well. Hopefully you stick by me. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, so YouTube can share this video and more people will see my reaction to this. Really helps out a lot. And let's dive straight into it, y'all. Let's go.
Are you starting to connect the dots yet? That's the question we need to be answering. The media is telling all of us that the death toll will remain a mystery for some time now. It's been 3 weeks since the Maui Fire Massacre, and we're all still left with the same questions. Where are the missing children? What happened to the kids? How many of them perished?
Now we're hearing reports that over 2,000 children right now are unaccounted for in Lahaina public schools 2 weeks following the fire. And this is according to the Hawaii State Department of Education. This is not according to a TikToker. This is not according to Twitter. This is according to the Hawaii State Department of Education, who is documenting who's showing up in school and who isn't. So for anybody out there that tries to snoop, so will come out here and they'll try to say, well, we're fact checking this with our BS meter and we're going to just automatically deflect on any stories about it. Well, then maybe you should turn to the people you look up to the most, which is the government, who are even admitting in Hawaii that over 2,000 children have not shown up yet to school. Now, we all obviously have heard reports from so many people in Maui, so much so that even local media outlets have picked up on the story, claiming that the numbers that they're giving in regards to the amount of people missing is nowhere near. In fact, the number seems to be edging closer to the amount of people that we lost on the 11th of September. Yet you don't hear this pumped and pushed as a national tragedy. Why? Well, too many people were too suspicious of what they saw with their own eyes.
2,000 children are missing with no answers yet, and they keep trying to shrink that number down and minimize it without any justification. Mainstream media is not showing you the actual terror and tragedy the Lahaina, Maui, Hawaii fire victims went through.
It's really bad out here. It's really bad. People are finding whole families in cars that are just charcoaled and fried. My best friend Michelle, her brother's family, just in the car. They find the car and they find mom and dad in the front seat and the 3 kids in the back. The other bad thing is that school was out that day that the fire raged through Lahaina. So parents were at work and all the kids were at home. So there's massive amounts of children who perished.
As Hurricane Idalia arrived in Florida, we saw residents being told to hurry up, fill up their gas tanks before it arrives. Then they alerted everyone that the gas was contaminated with diesel fuel. Diesel fuel in a regular engine means those vehicle engines are suddenly going to die as the people try to escape and flee the hurricanes.
In Maui, no water, no power, no sirens. It's just weird. It doesn't make sense. Then now, British Columbia, same thing. Not letting him go in, not letting him go out, not letting people volunteer to help. They also don't have water. It's a mess. And now we have Florida. An accident, so they tell them to go get gas to prepare for this hurricane so they can get out of there. They go get this gas, and it's all diesel. And everybody wants to pretend like it's a coincidence. It's not. Only Florida, the areas where they need to be evacuated. Now there's people broken down on the highways. It's just a coincidence, right? Just a coincidence. Come on. Please, seriously, just look at it yourself.
It seems we have to look out for ourselves as the battle is between good and evil at this point.
What are we to do? What have we become but a nation of destructive behavior? This is now a war against all of us.
Do you think we're the bad guys? Just honest question. I've been thinking a lot about this lately.
I think there are a lot of bad people in our government.
If you look at this from a, a 60,000 foot view, you look at the world and you look at all the that the U.S. has intervened in, and now, with the way the internet and the access to information we have, it's starting to paint another picture.
Maniacs, these demon-possessed maniacs running the West, are determined to dominate the world, even if it means the destruction of the planet, the death of 1 to 2 billion people. They don't care.
Earlier this week, we saw Maui County filing a lawsuit against Hawaiian Electric. Now we see Hawaiian Electric blaming Maui County officials for their inadequate response, and even said there was no electricity flowing through the wires in that area. That's right. Hawaiian Electric said it had de-energized all of its power lines in Maui hours before the devastating wildfires broke out.
People understand, Hawaii Electric, Hawaii Power announced today that they cut power to the lines 6 hours. Their stock is on a freaking tear. The reason the stock was on a tear is that they think the liabilities are going away. They cut the power in Maui 6 hours before the fire. This Maui thing, I'm telling you, there's something not right. There's something not right. For 3 weeks. And here's the thing. They knew, and authorities knew they cut the power 3 weeks ago. So why are we just hearing it today?
So once again, the government is lying about the power lines being the cause of the fire. The electric company said its power lines were turned off 6 hours before the deadly blaze began. We now need to take a look at who's behind Hawaiian Electric. Taking a look at the top shareholders, and once again, we see Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street. What are the odds that BlackRock is not only behind the electric company, but is also behind the second largest holder of land on Maui and behind the largest land grab in history that is currently taking place? Oh, and also, what are the odds that BlackRock owned banks on Maui? They were all miraculously spared from the fires. So BlackRock failed to update the power lines and trim back trees, even though there is a specific page dedicated entirely to tree trimming safety on Hawaiian Electric's very own website. Brian Deese, a former BlackRock investment executive, serves on the National Economic Council. The former chief of staff to BlackRock's chief executive is also a top official at the Treasury Department. Previously sitting as the global chief investment strategist at BlackRock, Michael Pyle is now the chief economic advisor to Vice President Kamala Harris. All three also worked with the Obama administration. Former BlackRock executive.
So he's saying they cut the power lines 6 hours before the fires, and they tried to blame the power lines as the reason to cause. So how can the power lines cause that if the power was cut off 6 times before then? If ain't no power running through it, which means it's cut completely off. Just like that guy just said, something is not right here. Something happened that they do not want to tell us. And that what pisses all of us off, because we really, really need to know what is going on. We really need to know what is going on. Because all we're hearing is this happened, that happened, that happened. But to look at it, it's more kids missing. But they trying to shrink it and say, oh, well, it ain't it's only this amount of kids that's missing. So it's like, it's a lot of lies being spewed all over the world, all over the internet, all over TV. So it's like they're afraid to come out to tell us what really happened. And that's what we all need to know. We all need to find out what is going on. I'm sick of all the lies. It's already a sad situation that people lost their families. Just like this woman, the woman was just crying about, like, I don't even want to repeat it no more, like what happened like in the cars and stuff like that. Man. But like I said, it just pisses you off, makes you mad because they are not telling us the truth about this whole thing, what really caused the fires. It's enough that y'all cut off the water. You couldn't, what's the use of calling firefighters when Oprah got all the firefighters at her house, watching her house? And what the use of calling firefighters if you done cut off the water anyway? So it's just crazy to me. You barricaded the road so people couldn't get out. People were just in line burning. Couldn't get out because you stopping everybody from coming out. So it's just a lot of BS that's going on, and we know it is. We know it's something that's being hid because, like I said before, what I mentioned earlier in the video, why isn't the police that was barricading people in, why are they not in custody? Why are they not being talked to on the media? Saying, or why like this police ain't being investigated, saying, hey, why did you not let these people out? So we need to know what is going on. And we going to stay on this situation. We're going to keep talking about it until the truth comes out. And that's just what it is.
Eric Van Nostrand joined the U.S. Treasury Department as well. In the past, we've seen the CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink, say this.
It's just, you have to force behaviors. And if you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race or just any way you want to say the composition of your team, you're going to be impacted.
For the first time in history, there's been an emergency proclamation by a governor even before there's an actual emergency.
Green has declared a housing emergency. The proclamation is designed to push through Hawaii's regulatory red tape, but some groups are alarmed.
Governor Green says it's time to get aggressive on housing.
We're waiving some of the restrictions on the amount of land that that historically was.
And another problem that I had to say about it is that why did Biden is only getting them $700? What can you buy with $700 in Hawaii? What can you rent for $700? But yet Biden will give a whole boatload of money and resources to another whole country. Like stuff like this just don't make sense. You can get these people $700. But Biden can get trillions of dollars to another freaking country. This the type of stuff that we call out. This is the type of stuff that needs to be called out. Man.
Allowable for building because we just want to get going.
The working group would not be subject to sunshine laws.
I'm just very disappointed and really alarmed.
For the first time in history, I believe, there's been an emergency proclamation by a governor before there's an emergency. Josh Green on July 17th, 3 weeks before the fire, issued an emergency proclamation which gave blanket powers to people to go in and work on getting development projects for, you guessed it, his state. But this is a very, very dangerous precedent. Also, it begs to question what is going on. Why would someone do that? Why would this guy do that? What is the purpose of that? Yep. Start waking up. You're going to find out that there are some very, very nefarious things going on that are alarming. And they are worse, by the way, than Larry Ellison, the owner of Lanai. They're worse than the billionaires like Oprah and Bill Gates. They're actually worse than that. They're deeper than that. But it's time to wake up and understand that there's some really strange things going on that don't add up. And this is scary for America. And it's a wake up for the entire nation.
Maui Police Chief John Pelletier has resurfaced just long enough to compare the loss of Lahaina to losing a leg.
Yeah, Maui's Police Chief John Pelletier compares the loss of Lahaina to losing a leg. He says you can put a prosthetic on, you can learn to walk again, you can even learn how to run again, and you can have an incredible life, but it will never be the same.
The men and women of this department, the men and women of the fire department, They swore oaths to save lives, and that's what they did. The problem is our community lost so many, and when it's man versus nature, nature has always won.
What do you want to tell your men and women who might be watching this?
Well, there's not enough thanks. No, I love them.
Sounds like you're kind
I love them.
of emotional.
Oh,
What's going through your mind?
it's my job. It's my job to protect them and care for them, appreciate them, make sure nobody messes with them.
Remember, this is the same guy who said this.
Every data point is going to be scrubbed and looked at, and
every data point is going to be scrubbed. Direct quote. I mean, these people are literally telling on themselves. Again, just listen to what Hawaiian Governor Josh Green said.
Within 6 hours, 6 hours, 6 hours.
That's going to do it for today's video. If you feel I earned it, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel.
Shout out to him, man. Hustle does a great job over there on his channel as well. But like I said, the truth needs to come out, man. 'Cause it ain't nothing but a bunch of lies and stuff. And y'all know me, that I'm going to keep talking about it. I'm going to keep bringing y'all these videos until the truth comes out about this whole, like the whole Maui Massacre fires. Because it's just something that's being hid that we need to know about. Like about how many children still missing. They still ain't telling us dead. They keep changing the number. They ain't really telling us how the fire really started. They cut off the water. And like I said, they ain't bringing the police in question, the one that barricaded the road so people couldn't come out. So it's a lot of things that's unanswered that need to be answered. And we're going to get to the bottom of it. We're going to keep talking about it. I appreciate everybody that made it to the end, watched the entire video. Like I said, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.